again. I'm back for another video. It's pretty late right now. It's around 7 o'clock. Just finished dinner and I'm feeling very inspired and motivated to make something. So this is kind of totally on a whim. So yeah, I'm just gonna see where this ends up. I've had this shirt idea in my mind for a while. It's like the shirt I'm wearing, sleeves, top, button front, but no collar. And I have some fabric that I've been meaning to use for this project. So I want to see if I can make what I'm thinking of. It's pretty last minute, pretty thrown together, so we're just gonna go with it and see where this all leads. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get to it. So here is my general idea. I sketched it a few days earlier when I first had the idea so I wouldn't forget it. And I still have to figure out exactly how I want to make the button placket. I've been running it through my mind these past few days, and I think I have a general idea, but it's mostly going to be trial and error at this point. And yeah, I'm going to once again be tracing off of a pattern that I already have. This one's actually a free pattern. It's the Sage Tee from Elf Textiles, which is such a great designer, by the way. I love all of her patterns. And hopefully the basic design of this pattern works. It's technically meant for knit fabrics, but I've used it before with woven fabrics, and since the shirt itself is pretty loose, it worked well. I just went ahead and matched my back piece to my front piece and trimmed away any extras on the edges or at the hem to make sure that they line up. And here are my pieces. Oh, people are howling outside because it's 8 o'clock. And that's what people do where I live to honor the healthcare workers. Which is weird though, because they've been doing it since April, now that I think about it. Okay, howling done. Here are my final pattern pieces. I have my front, my back, my two facings, and then the sleeve pattern piece that I stole from Elb Textiles. I'm going to go cut now, and since it's getting later, the sun's going down, I'm going to finish sewing up the shirt tomorrow. I'll see you in the morning. Greetings again. I'm back. I'm pretty exhausted right now. I literally just got out of bed from a nap because at the last minute I decided to go for a 12-mile run this morning, and it was very tiring, especially because it's a very hot day. So I came home and I've just been eating food, napping, and reading books in bed because I'm really tired. But I figured that I should probably do something else other than that. And I'm going to finish the shirt that I started yesterday. I ended the video last night, but when I left, I cut out the pattern pieces that I had made out of the fabric that I want to use, and it's all here. Today I'm going to start sewing the pieces together. To add some extra sturdiness to the button placket, I'm adding some lightweight iron-on interfacing. I measured the front part of the top and that was 16 inches down. So I'm going to cut a 1 inch by 16 piece of interfacing for both front top pieces. I mocked up the design of the front button placket just to make sure that everything fits the way it's supposed to before I iron on the interfacing and make things permanent. On the other piece, I made the mistake of fusing the interfacing to this side of the button placket, which did not turn out so well because I didn't iron the fabric beforehand, so there were all these uneven lumps. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So this side, I'm ironing it to the inside of the placket. That will become hidden once I fold the edge over and hem it in place. I'm hoping this will solve the problem. Here's what I mean with the texture of the fabric getting kind of weird with the interfacing fused underneath it. Somehow I have the perfect shade of green in my stash for this top, which makes me very happy. Both plackets are now sewn, and now I'm going to assemble the rest of the shirt. I sewed down the shoulder and side seams with a 3/8 inch seam allowance and then serged the raw edges. I'm going to attach the sleeves now and sew those also with a 3/8 seam allowance. Ta-da! Here is the sleeve. Looks pretty good. Okay, so I put the shirt on the way it is right now and it's very loose. Zoom out a little bit. It's very boxy, which I like, even though next time I think I would eliminate the 3/4 inch that I added to the pattern. And the sleeves are a little long, so I will definitely be hemming those. I also think that the neckline is too high because if it's buttoned up all the way, it's just very high right now. And I'm going to lower that by about 2 inches. Other than that, it's nice. Except I don't really like the pattern that much for a button up. It just looks kind of strange and you can't really see the button detail, I feel like. So I'm probably going to be making another one of these shirts in linen at some point. It looks nice, like separated though. It's kind of PJ, very flowy. I was too lazy to cut out a new facing for the neckline. So I didn't actually make the V deeper by 2 inches. I'm just going to sew with a 1/2 inch seam allowance on the facing instead of a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I put together the facing the same way I did the other one. I just attached the pieces at the shoulder seams and serged the raw outer edge. Okay, so it's getting dark outside and I've had a long day, so I'm going to call it quits tonight. I sewed in the facing and I just hemmed the edge here so the raw edge wouldn't show. And I'm going to add the buttons and do the hems tomorrow. I decided to YOLO it and live a little bit, so I'm not going to bed after all, and I'm going to finish most of the top. I'll leave the hand sewing for tomorrow on the buttons. I hemmed the sleeves and the bottom of the top, and then now I've marked the placement of my buttons. I'm doing them each 3 1/4 inches apart. It's a little wet though because I messed up when I was using my pen. And I'm going to use a test piece of fabric with interfacing to make a trial buttonhole and make sure that I don't mess it up on the real top. Here's what it looks like, and now I just gotta see if button fits through this hole. There we go, and perfect. So I think I'm set. I'm gonna take a chance and make my real buttonholes on the actual top. Making buttonholes is so much fun, and the lighting is terrible right now, but I just had to show how nice these look. They're so satisfying, and I'm so lucky because my machine does it all for me without much fuss. Yay, okay, now I'm going to cut these open, mark out where the buttons are, and hand sew those in either tonight or tomorrow. I'll see, I probably won't film me doing that though, so the next time I'll see you, I will have finished my shirt. Oh, I'm so excited. This turned out so lovely. Hi, so this is the finished top. Last night I finished the buttons while watching some TV, and that was it. It was actually not that bad to sew on buttons and buttonholes. I'm usually a little bit scared of that, but this definitely got me over that fear, and I will be making lots more button type things in the future because it's actually not that bad. The one thing that I goofed on is I made my buttonholes going sideways instead of up and down, but it's not that big of a deal. And would it even be a handmade project if you didn't mess up at least once? That's my philosophy at least. It's a little wide, like I said when I did my test try on, so I think next time I'm going to get rid of the extra width that I added to the pattern, maybe even take it in even more. But it hangs nicely, it's super comfy and roomy. This fabric is a super lightweight cotton, I think. It's very nice for summer, keeps me cool, and you can wear this top different ways too. I can unbutton it and then tie it just to style it a little bit. I really like it. I'm super happy with how this turned out, and I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Maybe another making vlog? Who knows? I've been sewing so much lately, but we'll see. Until then.